So the Kansas City Chiefs, man, I have no idea how they put this wide receiver core together, but the potential is out of the roof, man. The potential is sky high, and it's honestly unreal how much potential that this Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver core has. And in this video, we're going to take a deep look into what each player, not really each, because we're focusing on the younger guys in this video. We're not talking about dudes like Richie James, and then even though those are great additions, we're talking about the younger dudes like Justin Ross, Kadarius Toney, Skyy Moore, and Rasheed Rice. Those are the four that we're going to be targeting for this video. And I'm going to be telling y'all how each of them can help the Kansas City Chiefs in their own way, and why I said I'm going to count this as the Chiefs stole this wide receiver core. Because, okay, Skyy Moore was projected to be a second rounder, but you get a good player in Skyy Moore who's solid in the second round. Then you get Justin Ross as an undrafted free agent who was supposed to be a top 10 pick, as we all know. And then you get Kadarius Toney for like what? I forgot, but it was a very late pick, and he's a first round pick with a bunch of talent, and health is his only issue. And then you get Rasheed Rice in the second round, and he leads a lot of the college wide receivers in certain stats. That's perfect for the Kansas City Chiefs. And all of these dudes fit the Chiefs system in different ways, and they all could complement each other's game. So that's why I'm very excited to see what they do as a wide receiver core and a group. And I do believe that they're definitely going to be a big key to the Chiefs' success this year, and going to help Patrick Mahomes get that third MVP and that third Super Bowl ring, hopefully. So let's see how that goes. But in this video, I'm definitely going to be giving y'all a little breakdown on each of these wide receivers, and we're going to be talking about what they could really do for the Kansas City Chiefs and the ability that they have. So let's get into it. So Skyy Moore had 800 yards on 51 receptions as a freshman. That wasn't really too bad. Then his second year, he got hurt. But then his third year, he absolutely broke out, man. 1,300 yards, 10 touchdowns on 95 receptions. So that's Skyy Moore stats. We're going to go over all of their stats first before we talk about what they really, do and their strengths and stuff. So now let's take a look at Justin Ross's college stats. I'm sorry if you hear anything in the background. It's a lot of talking going on. But Justin Ross in college, man. So 1,000 yards as a freshman, then 800 yards the next year. That was the year where he's playing through injury. And then, it really was rough. But the point is, he had 1,000 yards as a freshman with 9 touchdowns. So he's very good at getting touchdowns, and 1,000 yards as a freshman is absolutely crazy. Now let's get into Rasheed Rice in college. Let's see Rasheed Rice in college stats. So Rasheed Rice in college, 400 yards the first year. He played 4 years in college, so he played all years. Then 683 the next, then 670. Then he absolutely broke out for 1,355 yards with 10 touchdowns, man. That's absolutely crazy. And then we're going to take a look at Kadarius Toney college stats. Yes, we definitely have to look at Kadarius Toney's college stats. So let's take a look at that right now. Bear with me. Hold on. So sorry if you hear anything in the background. I'm really sorry about that. But I don't know if y'all could. So in his last year, 984 receiving yards with 161 rushing. So basically, all these players had 1,000 scrimmage yards in their college careers before. So the potential is really there. And now it just has to translate to an NFL level. So let's take a look at Skyy Moore's strengths. So Skyy Moore wasn't really that slow of a player either. He's not really that slow. 4.41 yard dash, very good. And the thing about Skyy Moore is that, he plays very balanced. He has good quickness, great body control. He shows a lot of polish on the routes that he runs. He maintains his speed coming out of breaks, and he understands how to stay friendly to the quarterback on his breaks. And his quickness, his play strength to beat press coverage, it really keeps cornerbacks off balance. He could track deep balls pretty well. He could make the awkward catches that a lot of people don't make. And he's able to adjust for catches at all angles and come down with the ball, man. Hands are great. He literally could snatch throws, and he rarely loses speed to create after the catch. He fights as a blocker. He's definitely not that bad as a blocker. He could align both in the inside and the outside, and he's used on jet sweeps. Now, the only bad things is he's below average height, and he has a limited route tree because of his RPO heavy offense. But he definitely fits in the Chiefs system in many ways, man. Him being able to be outside and in, he has a built frame. He has a very good frame as well that could allow him to play through contact while he's running his routes. That can allow him to get a lot of yard after catch. And his yard after catch ability really fits the Kansas City Chiefs offense. Him being able to do jet sweeps and stuff like that, it really fits their offense, man. And I feel like he could be an impact player this year. And he has a solid comparison to Golden Tate. And that's really not that bad. And he could definitely be a compliment to a dude like Rasheed or Justin Ross, who are like more of wide receiver ones or every down threats, So now let's get into Justin Ross. And then we're going to wrap it up with Rasheed and then Kadarius Toney. So first, we're going to talk about Justin Ross right here, man. So we know that Justin Ross, he's 6'4", 210 pounds. But, man, he has very good height, amazing length, and he has very good overall athleticism. We know he has a very quick twitch with great agility, acceleration. His long speed is there. He has the body control to make a bunch of plays on back shoulder throws. He's a good route runner, but after working with the specialists that helped Diggs and other players, he became a above average route runner in my opinion. And he could consistently sink and get out of his breaks even with long legs. Great hands. His length and the catching range, it helps him consistently extend for throws away from his body. He has a very great vertical, so he can high point the throws and be a ball winner in the red zone and on contested catches, which we've seen in that Browns game. Great playing strength, man. He shows up with the ball in his hands. Just an overall competitive and tough player. And the only negatives about Ross is, he had significant injuries in his college career. But that's about it. That's really about it. Other than that, in my opinion, he's a very great player. And he could project as an outside threat, man. I think he's going to be an outside threat with the Kansas City Chiefs. And that foot quickness and that core strength is going to help him win against press coverage. And that's impressive for somebody his height. And him being a great route runner who's very athletic and could just, sink and come out his breaks is very great with that long speed that could help him get yard after catch. And he really does fit in that Kansas City Chiefs system, man. I love what he does on them comeback routes as well. What he does on that comeback route is very beautiful. And he's just what teams look for in their X-Y receiver. And he was projected to be a first-round pick. And then he ended up being even projected to be a second-round pick after injury. And after injury, he was ranked 8th in the draft. But he ended up going as a UDFA. And now he gets to prove himself. A lot of people compare him to Corey Davis. But my first year, I have him being like an Allen Lazard type of player. And then I think he's going to develop way further beyond that for his second and, his years beyond that. Now, Rasheed Rice at 6'1", 204. Now, what I like about Rasheed Rice, he's like Justin Rose. He has a lot of alignment, flexibility, He can line up anywhere. And SMU, man, they often moved him around the formation. He has very great play strength. That's a strength. He doesn't really get bullied versus press, and he knows how to muscle his way to advantage in a great position at the catch point. And he also has excellent hands and catch radius. Now, I know he drops passes, but I don't know. Maybe not excellent hands. I don't explain it. He has a very great catch radius, and I don't know. His hands is just okay, but his catch radius is crazy. Like, his acrobatic. Like, he may miss a wide open catch. I don't know how to explain it. He may drop a wide open catch, but he's not going to drop a contested one. And he finds the ball outside his frame, and he brings it in safely. So he's a true ball winner. He's a good bully ball style yard after catch earner. He plays with great strength and balance with just enough speed, And he's got to work on being a more agile, clean route runner. But he usually wins with more of his size and his strength. That's really what he is. So he's a ball winner, and he plays with great strength like a DeAndre Hopkins, I say. And he'll stop on a dime and turn and leap for the ball. He's one of them type of people. His hand-eye coordination is beautiful. He could bring in any pass no matter how far he has to reach to, contort his body. But he's always at an advantage when the ball is in the air. And he's also very effective with the ball in his hands as well. And like we said, man, he may not have the best speed or explosiveness, but he has it for enough of a player at his size. And he would definitely be very good with the Kansas City Chiefs. And I compare him to Brandon Ayuk. Even though Brandon Ayuk is an amazing route runner, I compare him to Brandon Ayuk with worse route running, or like a DeAndre Hopkins. That's my type of player for him. And I think he could develop into a very great player, and I want to see him make a lot of plays off the outside this year. Now, next and final, let's get into Kadarius Toney, and then we're going to wrap up how all these players are going to come along and form something dominant for the Chiefs. Kadarius Toney's like 5 feet. Oh, no, my bad. What the hell? 6 feet, 193 pounds. So Toney, man, we know that he's an extremely twitchy and versatile player who will create with the ball in his hands and could take literally any play for a score, right? As we've seen in the Eagles game, that punt return was nearly a touchdown. So he has very great balance. He has the ability to break tackles. He could keep his feet through contact and in a crowd and find the tiniest of creases. And his contact balance has flashes of excellent plays, man. And he has some top-tier suddenness and bend that can make multiple defenders miss in small areas. And I feel like he's just a very explosive athlete who could split seams quickly down the field or after handoffs, man. And he could align in multiple spots. And he has even run plays designed for him to get the ball in his hands quickly so he could be a creator. And he's at his best when he has the ball with space to work with. He's at his best with the ball in open space. So overall, he has above average overall hands, natural hand-eye coordination. He would go up and snatch throws over his head. So he plays very better than his size, and he needs to work on his routes as well. But overall, Toney's just an explosive football player who can make any casual play go for the distance. And man, he's very great. And him just staying on the field and being healthy, that would be beautiful. And it's funny how I could actually compare him to a running back in Cordell Patterson. That's a great comparison for him, because Cordell Patterson is like a wide receiver, you know, and Toney's like a running back / wide receiver. But I got him as a Cordell Patterson, or, you know, Debo Samuel type of player. So overall, these four could definitely help this Kansas City Chiefs team a lot. And I do believe with the vets mixed with these young players, it's definitely going to be a very fun season to watch next year. And the offense is honestly going to be at its best, man. I just can't wait to see what Patrick Mahomes and all these great players do. And it's going to be very fun to watch as a Chiefs fan. And hopefully big things is coming from this Chiefs team, because I have a lot of faith in them. And I'm going to keep dropping out this content. So today should be a triple upload day. And then tomorrow is going to be a triple upload day as well. And then we'll be back to the normal 1 to 2 uploads a day. So it's been your boy Chiefs Priority, and I'm out. Peace.